So warm-up 14 is on your screen, and notice on the very first one, write the inverse of f of x equals x squared minus 3. I'm bringing in now the quadratics. Let's see how much you remember about quadratic functions, which would have been something you saw the last month that we were here on campus before going on vacation. They're like, oh, I got this, Mr. Q. Am I right? Am I right? And I'll give you more time. All right. So, for the sake of time, being that it's Monday, I'm going to go over this one. And today, guys, today's going to be going pretty fast. So everybody go like this really quick. Go like this. Bear with me. Bear with me. See what I did there? Julian, you got that one? Yeah? All right. Just checking. All right, here we go. Write the inverse of f of x equals x squared minus 3. And just a reminder, this is being recorded. FYI BTW. So if it was a regular day, I would ask maybe Julian to get us started. But since it's Monday, I get started. So we change that to y equals x squared minus 3. From there, we solve for x. So that means I add 3 to each side, add 3. That leaves us with y plus 3 equals x squared. I'm still not done. I need to get rid of this squared using inverse operations. What is the inverse of squaring? Tell your neighbor, what is the inverse of squaring? Inverse of squaring a number. All right, how about Mr. Q? Square root. All right, so take the square root here and square root there. That's the inverse of squaring. So this cancels this. We're left with x equals square root of y plus 3. Is that the inverse, people? No, tell your neighbor what to do to make it the inverse. What do we do to make it the inverse? Yeah, we swap the variables. Swap the variables. So I'm going to write over here square root of x plus 3 equals y. This is our inverse. However, we need to write it in function notation. So square root of x plus 3 equals f of x. But we put a little -1 to show that it's the inverse. So far, so good, yes? All right, let's go to number 2, compound inequality. By now, you should be able to identify that these two graphs are intersecting, so it's an and, it's not an or. So, I'm going to start with the red one. What is my dividing point for the red one? That's 1, 2, 3. That's -3, and everything to the right is x. So, what is -3 compared to all these numbers? It's less than. Since it's the solid point, we put an equal sign. Next, what's the dividing point for the green one? The green one is -1, and all these to the left are x. So what are all these numbers compared to -1? Less than. Since it's a solid point, we put in equal sign. Last but not least, solution set of x such that, and you close your bracket. Trying to create muscle memory here, guys, because we need to make sure we have the set notation down out cold. All right, let's go with number 3. Evaluate the function using the domain bracket -1, comma 2. Tell your neighbor what numbers are we going to use according to that notation. Talk it over to your neighbor. What numbers do we use according to that notation? What numbers are we using? All right. Looks like Jaime's got it. Jaime, what numbers? -1. Of course, 2. But what other numbers? All right. Help them out, Carlos. Yeah, we said that, yeah. Last week, let me go back to the problem number 2. How do I write this in interval notation? I write it like this: -3, comma, -1, bracket, and bracket. That's this. What does that mean? That it covers what numbers, people, from negative 3 all the way to what? Okay, so therefore, 0 and 1. That is correct. From there to there. So therefore, f of negative 1 equals negative 1 minus 2, which is negative 3. F of 0 equals 0 minus 2, which is negative 2. F of 1 equals 1 minus 2, which is negative 1. And f of 2 equals 2 minus 2, which is 0. Oof. All right, we good? You guys good? Good. Because it's Monday, Mr. Q. Yeah, and tomorrow? Because it's Tuesday. What? All right. So, copy the agenda, please. Warm-up number 14 done. We're still in the middle of introduction to functions. Tonight's home play, I'm going to give you 3 pages, but only the even number ones to do. So make sure you get the code right after we copy the agenda and have that handy so that you can have access to the home plate. Copy that. All right, copy this code, 78MMC. 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 So like that you have access to the home plate with that. All right? And before we get further along, I left you something to bring me back today from Friday. Tell you never what it was. What did I ask you to bring back? Once again, this is being recorded, just in case your parentals want to check. Yes, your signed progress report. Turn that in on Canvas. Go to Canvas right now. Turn in the picture in there of a signed screenshot of your grades from Canvas. Turn that in, please. Yes? Okay, y'all ready? How about now? Ready? Martin, you ready? All right. Here we go. I can identify functions and applications. I can identify functions and applications. Today you don't need a big box or the Frere model. You already have it for functions. I'll copy the objective at the bottom left. I can identify functions. So, remind your neighbor, what concept are we still on? What are we still introducing? Geo, what are we introducing still? Concept. Functions, yes, very good. Man, Geo is right on the money. Let's go. Yeah, and we're still identifying. Once again, today, stay focused because it's going to go super fast like this. Watch. That fast. Ooh. You didn't even see that, Geo. All right? So, with that said, functions, do we know what they are? Yes, Mr. Q, you gave us a definition. We know the difference from this to this. And we go straight to our graph paper. On your graph paper, go to the side of the small graph, copy this line. Now, this is more like a review. I just want to make sure that we have this in our system. So to guide your graphing, let me give you 2 points just to make sure you got it. This is example Q. Make sure you label it, example Q. I'm going to give you the points, let's do 2, 1, and 4, 5. And then draw your straight line that goes like that. Make sure it's straight. All right? All right, here we go. Oh, my bad. Did I ask you for the warm-up already? No? What? Hold on. Check the points. All right, here we go. So, Like I said, this is going to go super fast, so stay with me. It says, write the equation of the line. So, students, I'm pretty sure you remember function notation, yes? And I'm pretty sure you remember linear functions. So your teacher should have showed you y equals mx plus b. Is that correct? So write that down. So we do y equals blank x blank. Now for those of us that forgot, circle the plus b in red and turn off your music. Label that y-intercept. That's our y-intercept. And then the m, if you want to box it in green or change that to green color and label that, that is our slope, Now reminder, how do we write the slope, Mr. Q? It's always rise over run. It's a fraction. Okay? So with that said, whenever I ask you to write me an equation for the line, you always start with the y-intercept. So follow the line till it crosses the y-axis. Where does it cross the y-axis? It crosses at -3, so we write -3. Next, I need a slope. That means I need 2 points on the line. Did I give you 2 points? Yes, this one to this one. Now, pay attention to this part. Look up. Now, when I introduce these in Algebra 1 and Algebra 2, I always use the idea of showing somebody directions. Let's say over here, look up to the screen. This is the high school, and this is Frank Wright, and I want to give them directions how to get there. So I tell them, get in your car and run over all these homes and get straight to Frank Wright. No, is that correct? We always go what? First, we go upward, make a right turn, and then we go like that. So how many steps up from here to there? 4, that is correct, because we went from 1 to 5, right? Then I make a right turn, how many steps from here to here? From 2 to 4, that is 2. So we write our slope as rise over run. So that means 4 over 2. Once we have it like that, we simplify. So y equals 2x minus 3. And of course, we write it in function notation. So we change the y to what? F of x equals 2x minus 3. This is our linear function. Why is it a linear function? Because the line is right there. It's a straight line. Send me a picture of your graph, please, on the screen. Next, copy this next one. Example, super cute. Go to the next coordinate plane. I'm going to give you 2 more points. Let's do 3, 4, and 6, 3. 3, 4, and 6, 3. All right? I'll give you a head start. Write me the equation. All right? Let's see. First thing you did, you wrote y equals mx plus b. Next, y equals blank x blank. Where do we start? We start with our plus b or our y-intercept. Where does it cross? It crosses at positive 5. How are we doing so far? All right, from there we need a slope. That means we need to go from this point to this point. But instead of going upward, now I'm going downward. I went down how many steps? 1, so it's -1. When it goes down, it's a negative. Then I make a right turn, and how many steps to the right? 3 steps, so my slope is -1 over 3. So we write y equals 1/3 x, and it's a negative, plus 5, and function notation, f of x equals -1/3 x plus 5. From 1 to 5, I'll come to borrow you with these so far. Is it coming back for some of us? Yes? 4, 5, 4, 5. Send that in, please. Here goes another one. Go to the next little graph. Copy this line and write me the equation. Like I said, it's going to go super fast. The first two should have been like the hiccups. This should be automatic by now. I'm going to give you the points -1, -4, and 1, 8. -1, -4, and 1, 8. Give me the equation. Copy and all right, so for the sake of time, y equals mx plus b, y equals blank x blank. All right, so let me pick someone. Let's go with Lorenzo. Y-intercept. 2. +2. Let's see. Yep, it's right there. Hands if you got that. All right, next I need a slope. I'm going to go from here all the way over there. Some of you are like, Mr. Q, can I just choose this one and that one? Yeah, that's fine. But I'm trying to make a point. See what I did there? A point. No? Okay. Never mind. So to go from here all the way over here, how many steps up from -4 all the way to 8? Let's see. If I go upward, that's how many steps? 12. Then I make a right turn. How many steps from here to here? 2. So that's 12 over 2. If we simplify that, that's y equals 6x plus 2. And function notation, f of x equals 6x plus 2. Yes, Julian? Say it again. Doesn't matter. We just go with the y-axis. Yeah, with the y-intercept. That's what we're starting with. But Julian said, Mr. Q, what if we cross the y-axis and the x-axis? Yeah, this is also called the x-intercept, but I'm not using that right now. All right? Send that in, please. Here goes one more, just for practice. Example super duper Q. Let me give you 2 points for this one as well. I'm going to give you -3, -3, and 3, -7. -3, -3, and 3, -7. Copy that. Write me the equation. Go. Example super duper Q. And let me zoom in for some of y'all. All right, here we go. Y equals mx plus b. Y equals blank x blank. Help me out with this one. Natalie, what was y-intercept? -5. Let's double check. Yeah, looks about right. And what did you get for your slope? Oh, yeah. What is it? Let's see. So we go from here to here. So I go downward. How many steps? 1, 2, 3, 4 steps down. So it's a -4. Then I make a right turn. I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's -4 over 6. Can I simplify that? Yes, Mr. Q. Y equals -2/3 x minus 5. And of course, in function notation, -2/3 x minus 5. From 1 to 5, how comfortable are you with this so far? Where are we at? 4, 5, 4, 5. Yeah. This is review, guys. I'm trying to, yeah. If you didn't simplify it, I'm going to let it slide for right now. But from now on, check this out. Look up to the screen. Why do we simplify, Mr. Q? Because now, if we simplify, we can actually make our steps shorter on the line. Look. This says 2 steps down and 3 to the right. Is that correct? So watch. I'm going to start here. 2 steps down. 1, 2. 3 to the right. 1, 2, 3. There's a point. Let me do it again. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. Let me do it again. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. Every time that you do the simplified version, you should be on the line. Can you use the bigger version? Of course, that's still going to get you on the line. All right? All right, so I got 4s and 5s writing an equation from a graph. Now let's go backwards. I'm going to give you the equation, and now we're going to graph it. Get another graph in front of you. Example number 2. Turn to the small side, Example 2, I want you to write graph f of x equals 3x minus 4. Graph f of x equals 3x minus 4. Write that down, please. Graph f of x equals 3x minus 4. Graph f of x equals 3x minus 4. So, to get started, look up, please. I want you to write underneath this, you write y equals mx plus b. Why do we need that? That's going to be our Google Maps, if you want to call it, yes? So, where do we start? With our y-intercept. What's our y-intercept, everyone? -4. So plot your point on -4. Next, we need a slope to go from point to point. So let's go with a slope. What is our slope, everyone? 3, but we need it in rise over run. So what can we write on the denominator if it's a whole number? 1. So this is rise, run. Run. So that means 3 steps up and 1 to the right. So from here we go 1, 2, 3, 1 to the right, plot your point, do it again from there. 1, 2, 3, 1 to the right, plot your point, one more time. 1, 2, 3, 1 to the right, plot your point and graph your line. Nice and straight like mine. All right, send me your notes, please. I want to see what you did. Pretty straightforward, yes? Yes, Mr. Q. All right, good. All right. Now, graphing given an equation from 1 to 5, how come to argue with this so far? Yeah, 5 4s, a couple 3s, okay? Let's do another one. Copy this one. Example 2Q, f of x equals -2x plus 7. F of x equals -2x plus 7. F of x equals -2x plus 7. All right, graph that line, please. Give you guys a head start. Copy and go. All right, let's see. Someone from this side that's going to guide us. Let's go with Sarah. We got y equals mx plus b. What is our y-intercept, Sarah? +7, our y-intercept. So we go to +7 of y. There it is. All right. Pass it to someone for the slope. Yeah, let's see, what's our slope? -2, but we write it in fraction form, which is -2 over 1. So that means -2, that means 2 steps down and 1 to the right. So we go 1, 2, 1 to the right, plot your point, do it again. 1, 2, 1 to the right, plot your point, do it again. 1, 2, 1 to the right, plot your point, and graph your line. I want to see at least 3 points after the y-intercept when you graph. Okay? That tells me that you actually know what you're doing. All right, from 1 to 5, how come to argue with these? Yeah, we got it. All right, send that in, please. Let's go to the next one. Copy this. Example number 3. Write those instructions on the left side or the right side of your graph. Make sure you do have the instructions because this is going to be an example that's similar to the home plate for tonight. And it reads, graph f of x equals -1/2 x plus 2 with the domain -6 less than or equal to x less than 2. Then write the range in the same notation. Copy all that. I'll give you some time. We're going to go over this one together. And by the way, those of you that want to go ahead when you're graphing your line or your function, use a pencil, please. Use a pencil because we're going to be erasing some. I'm giving you a head start. Go. All right, here we go. Let's do this one together. Y'all ready? Yes, Mr. Q. All right, good. Here we go. So they want us to graph that function. So y equals mx plus b. So what do we need first? Our y-intercept, is that correct? Everyone, what's our y-intercept? Positive 2. So we go to positive 2. Once again, you're graphing with your, you can use the colors for right now, but we're going to be erasing the line part of it. Okay? Next, we need a slope. What is our slope? Negative 1/2. That means one step down and 2 to the right. So we go one step down, 2 to the right, plot your point, do it again. One step down, 2 to the right, plot your point, do it again. One step down, 2 to the right, plot your point, graph your line. Okay? Is everybody up to right there? All right, next, if you have your highlighter, look up. They're giving us a specific domain. Look at the domain that they give us. They give us from what on x? From negative 6 of x all the way to what? So that means from negative 6 to positive 2. So highlight that with your highlighter. If you were to draw or send a beam, here's my beam. From here all the way to where? To positive 2. Okay. So that means, what does that mean, Mr. Q? That means that we don't need the rest of the line. We only need the line from negative 6 all the way to what? 2. So we're going to erase a little bit from here and everything from over here all the way to positive 2. Ever see what we're doing now? Yeah? All right. However, look up, please. At negative 6, is the point included? Look at it. At negative 6, is the point included? Yeah, because of the equal sign. So I want you to put a solid point right there. How about at positive 2? Is the 2 included? No. So at that point, watch. I'm going to erase that point. And I'm going to draw a what? An open point. Ooh-wee. From 1 to 5, how comfortable are you with this? All right, this is part of your home plate. All right, send that in, please. Did I send you the screen already? Yes? Okay. Next, copy this one so you can do that one by yourself. Example 3Q. The function f of x equals 2/3 x minus 4 with the domain 3 less than x less than or equal to 9. So show me that. I'll give you guys some time. Copy and go. Now I'm going to go back to the other one to get the range. It's on your screen so you can zoom in. All right, here we go. So, go through this process. So we write y equals mx plus b. Miguel, what's our y-intercept? Negative 4. Looks about right. There it is. Slope. Alexa. 2 up and 3 to the right. That is correct. We go 2 up, 3 to the right, 2 up, 3 to the right, 2 up, 3 to the right. All right. Not bad, not bad. There it is. However, according to the restrictions given here by the domain, from where to where am I going to highlight for my domain? Tell your neighbor, from where to where? Let's pass it to Carlos. Carlos, go. From where to where on the domain? 3 to 9. So I'm going to highlight from 3 all the way to 9 of x. All right. And what does that mean? That we're going to erase everything else. Is that correct? So erase everything. Ooh. Let's go. So erase 3, and we're going to put an open point for 3 because it's not included. 9 is included, so we do a solid point on 9. Like this. Yeah. Next, look up. Let me go to the previous one. Look at this one. They're asking us now for the range. So if I put a shift over here, between what y values am I going to have to send a laser? Look at your graph. Between what values do I need to send a laser to cover the range? Tell your neighbor, and Carlos is going to pass someone. Between what values? Miguel, between what values? No, for the range. Now we're working with the range. If I was to send, here's my spaceship, and I send a beam that way, 1 and 5. Let's double check. 1 and 5. Hands if you agree with that. That is correct. So that means we write 1 and 5. We write y in between, arrows to the left, and we check the points. So with 1, is 1 included, guys? No, it's open, so it's say like that. Is 5 included? Yes, so we put a what? An equal sign, and that is my range. So let's do the same with this last one that we did. This one. I want you to find the range for that, please. Find the range from where to where. Talk it over to your neighbor. Let them know from where to where is our range for that one. From where to where. All right. Pass someone. Who in last? Miguel? Leo. From where to where? From -2 to 2. Hands if you agree with that. Looks about right. So we got -2 to 2. Y in between, arrows to the left. Which points included? The +2 and not that one. And this is my range. From 1 to 5, I'll come to borrow you with that. Yeah, we got it, right? All right, we're going to stop right there. Log out, please. Those of you following on YouTube, make sure you put some work in and practice. See you guys next time. Peace.